Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. My name is Rich, and joining me to cover the Indianapolis finals is Bijan. How are you making out?
I am good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing great. The weather's great, and I am on vacation, and we are on the 3rd year anniversary of the podcast. Today is the day, 3 years ago, that the first episode was released.
Congratulations, man. I joined in maybe halfway through, your first year, right? But, dude, you held down the fort for quite a while by yourself, and it's awesome. Everybody, if you don't know the story, look back. Rich, just on a whim, just made the initiative when nobody else was doing it, other than Final Stage Podcast, RIP, hey, we got to make an American Ninja Warrior podcast, and you did it, bro. And now, here's your baby, successful and all that. So, big congrats to you.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it. As many more as keep coming out. I still enjoy doing it every week, so we'll keep doing it. We have our own bits to contribute. Everyone's got their own pieces, whether it's interviews or whatever. We don't get into interviews a whole lot, as you may have noticed, but we have had, I look back, and we've had, a lot of guests over the last couple of years. So thank you to everyone that's been a guest on the podcast. If you're out there listening, thank you so much. It's made it so much more entertaining along the way, enjoyable for us. And thank you all for listening. It is such a great hobby. I encourage all of you to start your own podcasts about some other topic, please.
Yeah, we've had, actually on this episode, we had quite a few former guests and avid listeners. So we'll get into that in a bit. But I'm curious, man, where are you going on vacation?
Just around my local region. So Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, 2 places I don't know if you've even heard of, but they are both...
Nope. None of our listeners have either, but
sure they have.
It sounds like it's a staycation, right? Like close to your place.
More or less, within a 2-hour drive each day. So no further away than a 6-hour drive from home.
Nice. Well, you earned it. Do your thing, bro.
Thank you. And I took 2 weeks off. That is the big thing for me. I haven't had 2 weeks off since 2005. So to have 2 straight weeks that's the vacation in itself.
Hey, I just did 2 weeks in Japan, man. It's really fun. It's almost a thing where after that 10-day mark, you're almost antsy to get back to your normal life. But I have a feeling because you work full time, do your thing with the family and everything, I think you're going to be enjoying this quite a bit.
Yeah. So are you fully adjusted now that you're back?
Heck no, bro. Dude, jet lag is real, y'all. Every single night. I swear, I am tired at 3 p.m. every single day, and I knock out by 6, and I end up, I keep waking up at 2:30 in the morning every single day, and I'm up, I am fully awake. I can't go back to sleep. It is a nightmare. So, yeah, my time right now, it's 8 a.m., and I've been up for the past 6 hours, and sure enough, give me another 6 hours, and it's the middle of the day, and I'm going to be knocked out. It's just awful. I don't know. I'm trying to chug coffee and just stay awake, but it's just not working for me.
Yeah, it's rough. Jet lag is the worst. And it's funny because I keep getting messages from you in the morning, even though I'm 4 hours ahead of you. I'm wait, what time is it there? What are you doing? How are you up?
Yeah, and I try to be respectful, man. I'm not texting people at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, but it's yeah, it's just, it's a weird thing. But hey, my school semester isn't starting for another 2 weeks, so, and work is work, but I'm good. At least it could have been worse, is the best way to put it.
Right. So let's get into the episode here. Let's take a look at the obstacles first. I want to skip over all the ones that were there except for Cane Lane. I want to jump right to that because that thing is amazing. That is the best new obstacle of the year as far as I'm concerned.
It's up there, Rich. It's weird because it's such a simple idea, right? It's literally just a moving around lane. Like, this is an obstacle I very, very much can see a lot of ninja gyms adopting. Just because I don't think it takes a whole lot of ingenuity to build this thing. It's very simplistic, but yet it's so incredibly difficult to do. I'll go more into the details, but like, what are your thoughts?
Again, the simplicity is the genius of it as far as I'm concerned. That's why I think Wingnuts was such a great addition to the show and the sport, right? I don't think that's going anywhere. Mm-hmm. This kind of movement, this kind of obstacle just adds so much, and it's perfectly fair to everyone. There is no reach requirements or anything that's just, or complexity of moving parts and weirdness. It's simple looking, but difficult to do and very dynamic to watch. I just think it's got everything going for it. It is such a weird wrench to throw in the works for everyone. You could see everyone struggling with it. I just loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, really good point in terms of like, I didn't think about that, but yeah, like anybody can do it. Reach isn't a factor, all those things that I guess that makes some obstacles cheap. It doesn't have any of those pitfalls. So very good point. If you really think about it, guys, you have to be very precise, but like, I don't know, the margin for error is so low. And I love how they have these brilliant things, like they've got like hanging bars holding it up, but obviously you have to get that thing around it, so you gotta like jump your body up, like all these weird things. Not to mention, it's a slick, smooth pull, so it's not something with a grip. Not like, it's similar to a rope climb. Like, no, it's not. Because you don't have that gripping. You can slide off easily. And we saw some instances where people weren't keeping their quote-unquote L's, and just, like, fully extended. And what'd they do? Slip off immediately. Like, you really have to think about how you approach that obstacle. Not to mention, this entire course, very, very upper body grip-based like course, and then at the penultimate obstacle, you get this thing. I mean, whoo, that is like all around. I really, really enjoyed this. I really want to try this obstacle. I don't think I can do very well at it, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's one of those obstacles that I think it's very fun to try to do, but also the more you do it, it really works out a lot of the body parts that go in tandem with American Ninja Warrior. Like, I could see this just being an obstacle like many ninjas just love to do because it's a great training obstacle.
Yeah, all of that, for sure. I kind of wonder if there's extra rules that we don't know about.
You got to jump a 180, man. Like, you saw that part, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, one of the things we don't like most of the time is weird rules they put in, like limitations, right? I want to see some ingenuity. I want to see people doing things in weird ways. Like, would it have been possible for Tyler to wrap his legs around it to, or the legs have to stay off of it, that kind of thing?
How are you going to wrap your, man, it ain't that big. Like, if you could do it, props to you. But
that's why I said Tyler. Tyler's the only one I can picture that would be actually able to do it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I have a feeling that, like, that question wasn't even, approached because, like, the guys are like, nobody's going to do that. But, hey, that just, like, it could be a new Kevin Bull moment, right? Like, if Tyler actually does do that. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to help him. I feel like it's going to be more of a struggle just to get to that point. But if he can do it, hey, that's going to be memorable.
Yeah, it just seems like it's prime. And that's probably a silly example, but it just seems like it's one of those obstacles you'll see someone do something crazy on. Like, it just lends itself well to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really enjoying that thing, though.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the runs themselves. First up on the course, we had Mike Wright, the Speedo Ninja, diving champ. You go ahead. You go ahead on that one.
I don't know. It's dumb, but they didn't belabor the point. And actually, it played into a more interesting story. Like, the best way to describe it is his Speedo is just a catalyst for telling the story of him actually doing well in, was it diving, I believe it is, and him being the first African-American person doing it. Like, he actually has a real story, and the Speedo is just an element of it, rather than his entire story, and hey, I'm a dude in a Speedo, and that's my whole thing. That's the stuff that annoys me. So, yeah, it's dumb, but hey, it's whatever. It's memorable, and more importantly, he actually had an interesting story to put on top of it.
That's actually a really good point, and that's probably why I didn't get as annoyed with it as I thought I would, because like you said, it ties into his story, which was interesting. 2010 diving champ, I think they said. Yeah. But he did really well. He blitzed across the block run like at a crazy pace.
Yeah.
He was able to beat the spin hopper this time, which was great. Made a one-hand save on the clacker, which we saw more than once through the episode, but that was the first one and totally thought that was cool.
Do you see the clacker being that difficult? I don't know, man. The more I see it, I'm just like, I remember the first time I didn't think much of it. The more I'm seeing it, I feel like it's a visually cool obstacle, but I don't know if they need to make it heavier or something. I just don't think it's all that there in terms of difficulty.
I think it wears them down a bit, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of fails on it necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It does wear people out, but like, I forget the name of it, but that ascending, like, double step, hybrid thing that they have, that, in my opinion, is way more of a cool obstacle and does a similar thing,
Yeah, I think it needs some modification, maybe an up in difficulty, but it's hard because if they make the clackers like longer, for example, then reach becomes a bigger issue for some of the shorter ninjas. It's going to be
Nobody
hard
wants
to...
that.
Yeah. They've got to find a way to maybe ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah. I just feel like, what's the name of it? The one that, like, Crank It Up, I think it is, actually, right? I feel like Crank It Up is just, like, an evolution of this obstacle. So I'm just like, why is this still here when we have Crank It Up? But that's another story. I mean, let's keep going, man.
Yeah, he ended up falling on Cane Lane very near the beginning. So it was our first look at it, and I was excited right from the beginning. I thought this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we saw a lot, and man, this is the first time I feel like we've seen like we've seen this whole season, right? The first competitor do well, but this dude did really, really well. I think this has got to be like one of the first times we've seen them reach the penultimate episode. You know what? now I look back, it's like it's been like all season, but yeah, like dude just surprised me of how well he did. Good on them.
Yeah, I don't know. It might actually be the first. Now, you say it, yeah, people have gone deep, but 9th obstacle on the first run? That is pretty weird.
Yeah.
Next on the course, we had Madeline McNeil, who was bullied in middle and high school, suffered from depression, and her teacher saved her, and now she's working at a dream center, which I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I really like the fact that they had the teacher because, I don't know, her teacher just seemed... Like, when you think of a teacher, you think, like, you picture that teacher that she had. Just the sweetest, like, motherly, caring woman. Just, like, and don't get me wrong, like, as an educator myself, there are male teachers. But I'm just saying, like, she's the epitome of, like, who I picture as, like, the teacher. And I don't know. I really like the dynamic that they had between the two. And didn't overstay its welcome or anything. I really like this. Plus, it's a real subject that I have a feeling... Because this is a family show, I have a feeling a lot of people can connect to what she's going through. Or should I say, what she went through.
Yeah, there's a couple in this episode alone that were talking about bullying. It would seem to be like almost a theme of the episode. But she did really well. She's a rookie, very, very smiley, like very, very happy through the whole course. She was jumping across the flywheel, which looked absolutely like an exhausting way to do that, rather than just using her reach.
But it's smart, though, if you don't have that reach. Well, she's taller, but still, like, for the women, this might be a good way of doing it.
Yeah, she ended up spinning off on the third spin hopper, but a good run, especially for a rookie.
Yeah, very, very good for a rookie. Like, talk about, like, it's rare that you get a good freshman year like that, right?
Yeah, and I guess even beyond that, she's fun to watch, right? She's got such a expressive face and such a great personality that she's the kind of person you want to see run the course, someone that really engages you.
Yeah, like, I feel like people underestimate how important facial expressions are. It's very small detail, but it makes the world of difference.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's a show, right? We're watching a TV show for entertainment. I get it, it's a sport and everything else, and too, it's a contest. But you need people to enjoy watching it. That's the whole point.
I'm just going to say this right now. Take note, a lot of walk-ons or regular ninjas that might be wondering why they don't get a call back. Give us personality.
Yeah. And then probably the most frustrating part of the episode for me, they had a fast forward of a driver who was running the course for fun. Like, I get you got to pick and choose certain but in the finals, you want to show a fun run of somebody? Like, why? Why is that in there?
It was so ridiculous that I just couldn't but help but laugh. It was like of course, now like they can't just do the one NASCAR run. They have to have in both the qualifiers and the finals, a NASCAR run. It's just so ridiculous. I don't know. I can't. It was so trying to get me angry that I just had to laugh it off.
It went so far it actually just broke you. You're like, whatever. Like just I get it. But when we
I don't know, man. But it sounds like it got you more angry or whatever, man.
It did. It did. Like you can't show everybody. I get that, and there's all kinds of reasons for doing different things. The finals is not the time to be showing someone taking on the course for fun. Like put it up on the YouTube channel or something. Why is this in here?
It kind of takes on the air of like being unneeded in a competition where the stakes are really high at this point.
Yeah, and maybe if there was some more like deeply depressing things going on and we needed some lighthearted moments, it didn't really seem necessary to do that either.
I'll just say this, man. That awesome Grant McCartney like T-Rex run. Like, you want some levity? Show that on TV because that was dope. But anyways, I think we got Tyler next, right?
Yeah, Tyler Yamauchi. We joined him mid-run. One of our past guests, fantastic guy. He was able to beat the spin hopper this time. Not too surprising. A lot of people seem to figure it out the second time around, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to look back, but I don't think it has as many rungs of like going up or down. But like, it's still a really creative obstacle, and it's one of those obstacles, as you said, if you're capable of doing it, you got it. But as you saw, also a lot of people couldn't figure it out. All around, really liked his run. He seems very fresh and like technical. Every year I feel like Tyler in particular is really improving in his technical acumen. And I have a feeling he's going to get very far into Vegas this year. I actually am predicting he's going to reach stage 3.
That would be awesome. I love him. He did the flip roll off the clacker. He ended up falling on Kane Lane. I thought he had it. Like, he looked so strong, so ready to do it. Just missed the rail on the other side of the gap. But yeah, great run by Tyler. Wish him all luck in Vegas. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, man.
After him, we had Jonas Duncan with Team Hair in this whole montage with Jake Murray, Daniel Gill, and Rigel Henry. And I was not into it until I saw them cheering him on the sidelines, and suddenly I started laughing. I couldn't help it. All right, you got me. I'm in.
Okay, so this is you, laughing it off and everything. Not me. I was, if you guys have never seen a black person with steam coming out of their ears, just, I need to videotape me because, I don't know. There's a point where it's just so obnoxious. And this was it for me. I get it. Play it up. It's jokes and everything. And it's the first year. So it's cool and all. But if this becomes a thing, if I see this next year, if this becomes a new booby bounce or whatever, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it, Rich. Like, this is so dumb. So dumb in every way. And I don't know. It was almost going horse ab status where it's like the same thing where it's like, I'm talking about my hair and I'm blah, 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 putting stuff in my ear. Like, shut up.
It was really really over the top.
Maybe it's because I'm bald and I don't have hair or something. Maybe, low key, like, say whatever you want, guys. But I don't know. I don't need this. I really don't need this on my show. Shame on everybody part of this. I'm sorry, Daniel Gill, but you getting shamed too because you were part of this. Don't make this a thing, everyone.
I don't know. I thought it was really, I was right on board with all of that, and somehow cutting to them being on the sidelines cheering him on turned me around. I just thought it was funny at that point. Like, all right, I guess I get it.
For me, I'm just shaming all of them. It was a sign line of shame all around. But you know what? This dude's actually really good. So whatever.
Yeah, he ended up falling on the dismount of the wheel flip. Just missed his hand placement, which watching the slow-mo replay is like you could just feel the pain of like his hand reaches and misses and reaches and reaches. Like, no. You could just feel that his brain probably just flipping around in his head like, no, you could know he was going down.
Yeah, but up until that point, he actually showed off like a lot of athleticism. Like, this dude, I have a feeling in his sophomore year is actually going to do fairly well. He seems very comfortable and poised. This was just one of those mental, slip ups, and it happens. It definitely happens. But I didn't really see anything from him physically where it shows me that he's not going to go very far in future years.
Yeah, he seemed very solid for sure. I mean, this is the finals, right? He did well in the qualifiers. This is just, like you said, just a slip up. It can happen.
Yeah. Next year, talk about the trampoline park or something. Don't do the hair thing. Don't make this hair club a thing.
So after him, we had a fast forward of Kyle Stratman. For those that don't remember, he was the dog walker with his dog, Blazo.
Yeah.
He missed his jump to the wheel flip. Like, that's a rough way to go out, unfortunately. But we'll see him again next year. He was very, very strong in the qualifiers.
Yeah. Dude, just imagine. Like, you make it to the finals, and that's how you go. Like, that sucks, bro.
Trampoline skills are a thing.
Hey, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, though. I mean, they definitely went way less on the trampoline, so that's all good.
When we returned, we had Mario Brown, a math teacher, football coach, and upside down triangle. This dude is absolutely massive.
Upside down triangle. That's good.
He was, oh God, I hate to be laughing at this way because like he had such a crazy story. His friend got murdered in 2009, and he's godfather to his son. This one really got me. This was really bad. And when he almost fell in the Archer steps, I was losing it. I was like, don't you dare fall in the Archer steps after that segment. Like, that would have gutted me.
Yeah.
He had a big fall off the flywheels, but made it. I liked the levity at this point because he had such a deep story. For the people on the sidelines to be laughing at him when he came off, and he looks over and he's like, it doesn't have to be pretty. Like, that was perfect. That was great way to lift the mood.
I like that. In many ways, that makes him human, right? He's not one of these guys that are just training all year round and blah, blah, blah. Like, this dude was kind of a hot mess of a run, but he struggled through it in many ways. Like I feel like the average Joe, this is what they look like if they actually could get through it. So in many ways, it just made his run better. He
does not look like an average Joe, but I get your point. Yeah.
No, you know what? Yeah. This dude lifts, right?
Yeah. He fell hard again coming off the wheel flip, and then he banged to the spin hopper on the downslope, and that's where he went out. But wow, like just muscling his way through and putting everything into it, like throwing his body into everything. It was really a great run.
Yeah, I loved everything about it. By the way, Mario Brown, you win the visually profound edit of the night. Congratulations. I forgot a few weeks ago I had it, but that's coming back, everyone. Yeah, all around, really loved his story. It really was in-depth and was really, I don't know. I really respect everything that he did, and it wasn't overblown, Sometimes some of these stories are all about the person that passed, and it's a little hammed up, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. With this, all around, it was the right story and the right approach, and that little boy was so adorable. So, everything about this run, I really wanted this guy to do well, and yeah, good on him. He showed a lot of heart, and he really wanted it.
Yeah, great run. Absolutely loved it. Next up was Rigel Henry, who I haven't given enough credit to prior to now, I think, because I was overlooking him a little bit. They really played up the whole Spicoli thing, and thank God Matt dropped that finally, because only people over 40 actually get that reference anyway.
I still don't know what that means.
He moved from the beach to the mountains. He's a shotcrete supervisor. That stuff is intense. Like, that is the crazy job that I didn't even know existed. And why is concrete the new pole vaulting?
I mean, you ain't lying, right? Was it Adam Rail? A bunch of other people do, work with concrete. So yeah, that's definitely a thing, man.
I don't know what happened along the way, but somehow concrete workers heard about this show and they are all in.
Hey, they got that grip strength.
Yeah, he flew through the spin hopper, and he didn't hit his face this time, which was great. But my mind was blown when he did Cane Lane. Like, he flew through it, absolutely destroyed every bit of this course, right up until the spider trap, which We haven't really seen people struggle on too much, and this guy made it look intense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad he made it look difficult, just because up to this point, people were just flying through it like it's nothing, and it's not. It's not a joke of an obstacle. It's there, you know. So I don't know. He actually brought some drama to his run, also. Like, did you even think he was gonna make it? Honestly, he was struggling at the first like little doorway. I was like, oh, this guy's done by the second one.
That was all determination. Like his footwear, I guess. I don't know if there was moisture in the air. Someone will give us some inside scoop that it was hailing 3 seconds before his run or something. But he was slipping the whole time. I was like, with his feet sliding like that, there's no way he's getting up that, especially having to push the trap doors, right? It's like, how are you going to do that when your feet won't even stay in place? But he did.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine, like, this guy, I have a feeling, could barely walk the next day because, like, he must have been straining his inner thighs so much. Like, that, I don't know. I've done those obstacles, and it's very difficult for me because I got long legs. But just the muscles that you use to hold yourself up, I mean, those aren't muscle groups that many people like use or work out all that often. So that dude must have been hurting.
Yeah, fantastic run. Managed to beat the whole course, and just somebody you got to keep an eye on now. Like, I cannot forget that run. That was really, really good.
Yeah, and good on him, man, because like the story for years past was like he's a goofy character, but he's actually very talented. So I'm glad it's going more into his talents at this point.
Yeah. After him, we had Michael Boyer, who we joined mid-run. He was fastest in qualifying. He was struggling on the clacker. He had 2 one-handed saves. Like, he kind of almost proved that obstacle is less of a joke than you were saying. Oh, I don't want to say it that way.
It's still a joke.
Okay.
One person struggling doesn't make it not a joke.
Fair enough. He ended up sliding off at the midpoint of Cane Lane, just his grip gave out, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad at least we got to see him. I remember, like, we saw his fast forward in qualifiers, and I'm like, dude, I want to see that run. Like, that sounds very interesting. So at least he got some screen time now, and we actually heard a little bit about his story while he was running.
Yeah, we got an explanation for another run that we were like really upset about being fast forwarded. Kyle Schelsey, who we'll see later, was one of those ones that we freaked out of qualifying being skipped, but he got a full segment here, so made up for it.
Yeah.
After him, we had Jerry DeRilio, whose dad, Frank, was beating the drum on the sidelines. What did you think of the whole drum thing?
It's so dumb. I love it. It's so dumb. It's like sometimes things are dumb and it's just like I'm over it. But this one, I couldn't help but laugh. And I think it has to do with the fact that I feel like a lot of people can relate. I know you can.
Oh,
Rich.
I can definitely relate.
It's like the dad that just loves, like it's his goal in life to just embarrass his daughter to no end.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He is my hero. I love it. I love the drum. I'm gonna get a drum. I think it's fantastic. I did.
Oh, your poor daughters.
I thought it was a little bit long. If anything, it was a little more than we needed. We get it, right? He embarrassed his daughter with the drum. I don't think we needed quite so much on it, but because we have had people already write in complaining about it.
Well, it was like how many times are you gonna show him banging the drum over and over and over and over again, right? So I do get it.
But she looked great. She had a great pace going. She got to the spin hopper fast enough for at least second place. And she did end up going out there at the top of it. But a better run for her. Got a little further than she had previously, and looking very, very strong for Vegas.
Yeah, I'm glad at least she makes it to Vegas because Dorelio's very, like as you said, very tough. In particular, if you guys saw her on Ninja vs. Ninja, man, this woman is talented. So I'm very curious to see how well she does in Vegas because I have a feeling she can do very well on stage 1. A lot of her attributes lend very well to stage 1.
Yeah, after her. So I'm curious, did you watch it on Hulu this time?
Nah, man. I'm back at home.
You saw Brian Arnold's run?
Yeah.
The picture-in-picture
You know,
run?
it's weird because it's like this picture-in-picture thing's strange, but this is at least the first time where I was actually happy that, you know, we actually got to see picture-in-picture because honestly, I don't know. is Brian Arnold. You kind of figure he's going to go far, but you just want to know how well he does. And I enjoy watching his runs. So even though the audio wasn't there, and I'll always say it to the day I die, man, the hosts make a big difference, man. It's weird not hearing them talking or reacting to their runs, but at least we got to visually see him and his run. So I don't know. These are one of the things where it's like, it's a ninja I know his story. I don't need a big old package, but I would like to actually see it.
Yeah, that seems to be their qualifier for these picture-in-pictures. Like someone we know their story. People want to see their run, and they didn't finish the course. That seems to be the going method for these things. So,
were you angry though? Because I know this stuff bothers you a little bit more. Like, how do you feel?
I was annoyed. I guess I'm getting a little more used to it, but at the same time, I almost take it as a spoiler. Like I'm like, I guess he didn't finish, but he must have got deep. So then I'll see how he did. I do like being able to see it at least, like you said. So I don't know. I'm softening on it a little bit, but I'm still not crazy about it.
Yeah, I feel you. End of the day, it's all about how it's implemented.
Yeah, he was able to beat the spin hopper this time, which was great. And he beat the clacker. I really didn't think he would have any trouble with that at all. I think he could go back and forth on that 10 times probably. He ended up missing the transition on Cane Lane, like the big jump across, which I thought we'd see more. People seem to be falling all over that thing. I thought that transition was where most of the falls would happen.
Honestly, that transition with the 180 is difficult, but I felt like the hardest part of that is getting past that like pillar thing holding it up. Because for that part, you have to like swing the cane backwards, then over, and then forwards onto the next like lane, all in like one stroke. And I don't know, I could see a lot of people failing when it comes to that.
I think it's tricky for your first time. I bet a lot of people will master that skill pretty fast now that they've seen the...
Oh, yeah. Good point, man. Like, as I said, I see a lot of gyms getting this thing. Really, you just need a cane because, like, if you go to any ninja gym, you see a million pipes, like, hanging all over the place. Really, you just need a cane.
Yeah.
It's like, here, go swing around with this. So, yeah, good point. Like, I can very much see people mastering this.
After him, we had Trevor West, 20-year-old, youngest person to take the course. He was bullied for being small until he started Ninja, and he is not a small guy anymore.
Ninja Trevor, come on, man. This is one of our diehard fans. Ninja Trevor is a diehard Armchair Ninja podcast listener. Always, like heavy on the social media and everything. But not just that. I was very, very confident that he was going to do well because this guy's claim to fame, if you guys don't know, he's been doing a lot of the regional circuit runs. His Instagram's got like a lot of videos of him winning well. But this kid's very, very, very strong with his grip strength and upper body. I could very much see him like being a part of the wolf pack, to be honest with you. One of his claims to fame is that you guys know dead hangs, right? Like you just hang on to the bar for like however long you can. And like for me, a minute is excruciating. I think my max record is 2 minutes. Like Rich, how long do you think you can hang on one of those like poles?
Oh, geez. Currently, probably about 5 seconds. But I mean, yeah, I think when I lost the weight there a couple years ago, maybe, 15 seconds at best, probably.
So take a guess of how long this kid like held on to one of those things. Did it hang?
Oh, if you're saying you can do 1 or 2 minutes, let's say he can do 3.
This dude did 36 minutes.
What?
And I don't know how that's humanly possible, but apparently that's what he did. And I was like, so after that, I am like, this kid isn't failing at anything like involving grip strength, okay?
How long?
I don't know how that's humanly possible, but apparently he did it.
It's kind of funny, like how long before they would start getting mad at the person, right? Like hanging on the course, like trying to make their way through if he's get stuck on something. And it's like, okay, you got to just let go. Like we can't let you just stay there for all night.
They like cut you off at 10 minutes, right? It's like, but yeah, like, dude, Trevor, like he's very talented. So as soon as he was going on this course, I instantly knew he was going to do well just because this course in particular really is very heavy when it comes to grip strength. Like when you really think about it, how many obstacles on this course are you hanging on something by your hands, right? So, yeah, for him, for the wolf pack, for a lot of these rock climbers in this region, like it lends itself really well to these people. And And I was really excited for him because I know he's very passionate.
Yeah, and I think your comment about his grip strength really makes sense now that I realize, yeah, this is he was absolutely destroying the course, and then he got onto the cane, like this crazy obstacle that's destroying everybody, and he takes the time to do a one-handed wave from the thing. Like, what the heck was that? Like, how?
Yeah, how do you even do that? Like, guys, go to a gym, right? Nunchucks and everything are already difficult. Just hang from like a pole or something, like a hanging pole, and try to like hold yourself up by one hand. Go ahead and give that a try.
After doing all the other things he had done, that was right towards the end of it. I do not understand this guy. Absolutely fantastic. He beat the whole thing. So congratulations, Trevor. Like, great job, and I cannot wait to see what you can do in Vegas.
Yeah, go Trevor.
We had a couple fast forwards next of Chris DeGangi, who fell on the cane lane transition, and Dan Palizzi, who fell on the spider trap after fighting on it for 2 minutes.
No,
like they
thank
finally
you.
have someone actually fall out on that thing, and they don't show it.
I mean, it's as I said, like some people are gonna, not believe it's true, but you got long legs. It is very difficult to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, I thought he very much confirmed your your theory on the height being such a big problem in those things.
Yeah, I really feel bad about Lebrec's boyfriend. Just I don't know. Dude never gets the respect he deserves. Poor Lebrec's boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him at all.
Well, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Kyle Schelsey next to take the course, and oh man, this was my favorite run of the season. I think I absolutely loved this whole thing. He's teaching deaf kids how to do ninja. He's deaf and hearing impaired himself. Oh my god, just love this segment all around.
Damn, come on, go more, man. Because like for me, it was a segment, but it sounds like you really enjoyed it. Give details.
I did. I was 100% in. Like, I find him so engaging. He's got great personality. His segment with the kids had me like tearing up. Like, I thought they were fantastic. I loved.
Dude, those kids are so cute.
They were great. He was able to beat the spin hopper this time. We saw him get smucked in the head during the qualifiers in a fast forward segment, but he was able to beat it. And when he starts signing, beat that wall with the crowd, I was like, he's just engaging with everybody there. And them all doing it along with them was fantastic. He beat the clacker, so that meant he was going to Vegas, which made me very happy for him. And then he was able to make that transition on Cane Lane, and I was losing my mind. I'm like, he's going to beat the whole thing. Oh my God, he's going to beat the whole thing. And then he misses the next jump. But I was still so happy for him. And then it cuts to this segment with Christine, and even that was fantastic. She learns the sign for congratulations and tells him he's going to Vegas, and the place erupts. Like, it was just beginning to end, just a fantastic segment. Loved it all.
Yeah, it was really cool. Dude is incredibly charismatic, and he never lets his disability, I don't even know what you call it disability, but whatever it is, his deafness, be his main story, right? He's like, yeah, I'm deaf, but look, like, I'm a dude, and like, check out how cool, how talented I am, and I think that's one thing. He's very naturally charismatic. He just knows how to like play to the camera, and like, for a deaf person, he speaks very well. And what I mean by that is like, I work with a lot of deaf kids, in my education program. And some of them, it takes a lot of talent for a deaf person, like for their entire life, to enunciate words. Because obviously it's hard to describe, but you don't get that auditory feedback knowing that it's the right way of pronouncing a word. But for him, he can, like, you can understand everything that he's saying. So all of that combined makes it very, very engaging for the viewer. And as I said, or as you said, him playing up to the crowd, he always got it. I guess the best way to put it. Some people don't understand that they're on a television show. This dude does.
Kyle was fantastic. Absolutely loved everything about it. Obviously, I can't stop talking about it. Next up, we had Travis Rosen, who was fast-forwarded on Cane Lane, but is once again, for the 9th time, going to Vegas.
Dude, that's impressive. Good, like, I love seeing Travis Rosen run, man.
Next to take the course. Oh, my sweet man, Ethan Swanson. He is one of my picks for ANW Fantasy and completely vindicated me in this episode. Absolutely loved it. The Swan thing, which I thought was so funny and cool from last season, is back, and I love...
You still think that's funny and cool?
I do. I like it, and I like that it's not taken seriously. They very deliberately, he basically said, like, hey, this isn't like the Karate Kid where they're all, like... beating the drums in Karate Kid 2 it's just a silly thing, right? If you're taking it seriously, you're not doing it right.
No, man, I was about to say, it's so dumb, but, and I don't care for it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't care for it because it's one of those things where you do it like a few times, like I don't mind it, but it's like every time we see this dude, he's doing the damn flap. Every like obstacle he completes, doing the flap. But I think this is one of those things where it's not for me. I think a lot of kids at home can really like find that fun and engaging. So I think it's more for like, the younger portion of the audience that really gets a kick out of it.
Oh,
so,
I was standing in front of my TV doing it the whole time. Like there was
You were not.
No, I wasn't. But
I was like, dude, you better record yourself. You doing that. Like
But if I was a kid, I would definitely be doing that.
Yeah. I can see a lot of kids doing it. Yeah. So I feel you.
He had no issues. He was one-handing on the clacker without a problem. Like, it's funny because they were commenting basically like, oh, he's going to, and then you realize like, yeah, he's got grip strength for days. There's no way he's falling. But when he beat Kane Lane, that was it. I was losing my mind. That timer came up and I'm like, oh yeah, show me that I'm right on the timer thing, which I was wrong last week. Admittedly, it was Drew. But when they showed the timer, I'm like, he is getting fastest time of the night, which he did. Very, very excited for that run. And yeah, Ethan's my boy going into Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, really talented, very good. But like, I want to know like what made him stand out to you, where you chose him for the fantasy league to like go the furthest this entire season. Like what really stood out about him?
In previous seasons, plus in some of the local events, NNL and other things, I just feel like he's got all the skills he needs to go far, and he's had a few slip-ups here or there, but I think he's just waiting for that breakout season, and this might be it.
So it's just like the overall package of like his technical, like everything that he presents, right?
Right. Similar to like, I mean, to a lesser extent maybe than Drew or Joe. When you watch them move through the course, you see the comfort, you see the ease that they do things, and I find Ethan has that same kind of grace.
Good point, man. Okay, so definitely keep an eye out for Ethan Swanson. For me, he's one of those upper ninjas, but I just didn't know what made him stand out more. But you've got a really good point there. I'm very curious to see how well he does.
Yeah. Again, it was mainly me going with the theory that finding the right combination of ninjas is going to be near impossible. Everybody's picking very similar names at the top,
unless you're the champ, bruh.
Right. You're pretty close. You're not at the top, but you're pretty close. You're a little ahead of me. But we need to see how Joe Moravsky does versus Jake Murray in the city finals. We both have one left before Vegas.
I'm pretty confident in my pick.
Right. I left out Joe and Drew very deliberately because everyone in the top 30 right now has Drew and Joe on their team except me. Right, pretty much. I think the top guy does not have Drew on his team, but he does have Joe. So all it takes is for one of them to slip up, and I rocket to the top and won't be catchable.
I feel you, man, but
Drew and Joe are two people I shouldn't be voting
picked,
against.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have picked Isaac Caldiero on your team, bro.
Well, I didn't pick Isaac, but I know some people did, and probably regretting it right about now. Isaac was the next one to take the course, and I tried to take notes as I went along, like kind of like a train of thought. And right before that, they said, with Isaac coming up next, I realized like they really didn't hype him up this episode, so I put much less hype for Isaac tonight. So they went on with a segment of other ninjas impressed by his qualifying run, and as soon as they started doing that, I was like, oh, is this going to happen? Because in the qualifiers, we both saw him going to Vegas pretty easily. He looked very comfortable on the course.
Yeah.
But he did end up going out on block run tonight. That was a pretty shocking fall. That's definitely going to go into the shocking fall of the year moments for Stage 5 Ninja Awards.
Yeah, it's got to be, man. But like, if I'm reading you correctly, seeing like how he was presented and everything into this episode, you were kind of like having a feeling that he might not make it to Vegas.
Once he took the course. So I was perfectly fine. I didn't think anything of it until the coming up next, and then I went, wait a second, they haven't really talked about him much. And then the segment being about how great he was in the qualifiers, I was not that shocked when he fell. I actually figured he wasn't going to qualify for Vegas because of the segments leading in.
Wow. See, that's interesting to me just because I 100% had the opposite reaction. I thought for sure he was making it to Vegas. And I thought they were just like, we saw him get his time to shine in the qualifiers. In the finals, they're just going to give him a video package. And then, like, here I am, and he's going to do well probably in Vegas and everything. Now, the reason I particularly thought that is because this entire episode, who were the people that were doing phenomenally well? It's all these people that have backgrounds in rock climbing, people that like are very strong in their upper body and have grip strength for days. I mean, this course is heavily built upon that. And there's only really one obstacle that isn't upper body grip strength base heavy, and that's block run. But I saw him get through it. So I don't know why. I just thought, yeah, he's a shoo-in to make it. It's probably just going to be like nothing really juicy in terms of drama. So it's like, they don't need to highlight him too much. They're just going to show him complete it, and that's it. Boy, was I shocked when he fell. I got to tell you, I was completely stunned. Isaac, before he won American Ninja Warrior, and he wasn't the first American Ninja Warrior, but before he won the $1 million, he did have 2 years where he did stumble on some transition obstacles. So we do know that is kind of his weakness, but I don't know why. I kind of envision that he wouldn't be making those mistakes again. And to be fair, block run is an obstacle where anybody could make that mistake and anybody can fall. I just didn't see it coming from him.
I don't know. I don't know why it didn't shock me so much as it probably should have. I guess I had the shock, but I had it at the beginning of his run. I was like, wow, I really thought he was going to Vegas, and then I was just waiting to see where he got to. But not to say that I can't be shocked, because I absolutely was by the last run. Jessie Lebrec's run, I was
Dude, you thought she had it, right?
I 100% thought she had. I literally, all the buzzer hype, I was so sold on it.
Final run, right? Like everything about it was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to see history again.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is literally how much I thought she had it. So she was at Cane Lane. She's preparing to take it on. I grabbed my phone.
I knew it.
I was like, I'm recording my reaction to this. So I clicked on it to take video, and I was looking at my phone, and all I hear is, I hear the noise of her falling, and I had to look up and rewind it. Like, what? Wait, what? No. This was supposed to be a happy moment. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's, hey, they got us, it played into the story. It wasn't predictable. Now that I'm thinking about it, I know you don't watch the previews for next week, but I'm just going to say the next week's episode, their entire storyline is about the women. So I'm very curious if this is all leading into something that's happening next week. Could be. Just saying. But yeah, like anybody could have fallen at that cane. I don't blame her. But man, that irks her, because I don't doubt for a second she would have flown up that final obstacle, that spider thingy. Like, that would have been so easy for her.
We've seen her just the crazy zigzag climb, or whatever it was called in Team Ninja.
Dude, she beast moded that thing.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before Jessie or one of the other women does it. Maybe next week will be the week. Maybe you're right.
I wholeheartedly predict it's going to be next week. I think the fact that we don't have that invisible ladder thingy, I think that really, like, wasn't and I know only Jesse Graff really reached to that, but I think now that we have this spider climb thing, I don't know. I just fully feel like a woman's going to reach that and just get through it.
So what is it? Philly next week, right?
Yeah, Michelle Warnke and Is Alyssa Bearden over there? I think Alyssa Beard might be part of that. I'm not sure.
Usually runs there, but I thought she ran somewhere else this season.
Could be. I know there's a few women, but I have a feeling it's Warnke's time. I have a feeling we're going to see Warnke up that thing.
So that is it for this week. Before we go, Bijan, do we have any 5-star reviews up on iTunes?
Yes, sir. So big shout out to Serena 2014, giving really kind words about like how we are passionate and how we have a lot of insider knowledge. You dang sure right that we do, Serena. We try to keep it on the low, but we hear like, you know, what's going on in the from a lot of the ninjas in the background. And, you know, once again, I want to thank you for your guys' love and devotion and listening and giving us 5 stars because, yo, that is the way that everybody gets word out that, hey, there's an American Ninja Warrior podcast out there. Armchair Ninja Podcast, dopeness. But fully on, Serena 2014, thank you. You get the 5-star review of the week. Love you.
Yes, thank you very much, Serena. And if you'd like to have a shout out from Bijan, make sure you put in your 5-star review on iTunes. It does help us very much. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. Check out the Instagram in particular this week because I'm still posting up stuff from my 2-week stay in Japan, celebrating my 30th birthday. That's right, y'all. I'm old as heck now. And yeah, all the best. Enjoy your vacation, Rich.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.